Pappy's back with the Firebird. We're going to work on the right rear quarter panel and continue on where we left off last week. I did find out that the rust, what we thought wasn't as bad once I got looking at it, that metal's paper thin and it had rusted. I'll show you right here. It rusted from the inside out. It did just the opposite. It seemed to not do as much damage to the outer skin as it did the inner on this side, which of course this side, it's paper thin. It's almost like tin foil. So the rust continues up to, I don't know if you can see all of this. Let me angle this camera where I can see. But the rust in here, as you can see, has gone through. So I'm going to have to cut some of this out and patch what's behind here before we can get to this outer part. I'm going to have to cut away, and replace this whole patch as well. Just for the fact that it's got so much rust, it turned out to be, like I said, worse than I thought once I got it cleared out of all the dirt and gook that was in there. But just watch me work. I'm going to get started right now. You can see that the rust is not here, but it's pretty thick through here. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and replace this whole panel, because I need access to be able to work this one. So plus it's, like I said, just too thin to work with. It's just, it's like tin foil. But anyway, we're going to get right back to it. Just want to let you know, the reason why I cut the whole bottom of this quarter off is it had so many spot welds in it. It looks like it had been done before, and they're supposed to be every 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and it looks like it has There's 4 right here in a row in a 3 inch and a half space. So, I mean, it was just going to take forever to drill all those out, and I'd end up tearing up the panel anyway. And all of this is bad, so I went ahead and cut it out. And I'll rebuild this panel, and I'll butt weld it back here. And then we'll come back in with the outer quarter skin after I get the inner panel built. I've got to come up with some beads here. I don't have a bead roller available to me right now. It's in storage, but I'll come up with something and be able to press these beads in. But anyway, that's where I'm at. And I'm just going to keep on working. Okay, I'm back over here at my workbench. This is what we removed, and you can see it was in very bad shape. A lot of rust through, and most people would cringe because I cut the inner structure and the outer structure. I want to recreate this inner panel and try to get it welded back into place before I even attempt to use the quarter patch. You got to build the foundation before you build a house. So basically that's what I'm going to do, is try to rebuild this, and I'm going to use this old piece of a quarter panel off of Freddie the Ford, my old Ranger, and they seem to be similar gauge. This is coated with some type of a coating on the inside, and the outside it's got a top coat. So I mean, it'd probably help with some of this corrosion resistance, because this didn't rust in the 30 years or whatever it was sitting. So I would say it's probably better than what came on the car. So we're going to make it out of this inner panel. I'm going to try to form it, and I got to form those beads, as you see. I got to come up with a couple of beads, and then I'm going to try to cut a template, cut it out of this, and and try to form it just like that, and then we'll weld that back into place, and then come back with the outer panel and weld that into place after we get the inner panel set. You got to build a foundation before you can build the house. That's basically the way I look at it. But we're going to get back to it. Just watch me work. Okay, we're back at this panel. We're going to try to make us a template out of poster board, and then transfer it to the old quarter panel I have over here, and then cut it out of that. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for today. Uh, didn't get as much done as I'd like to have accomplished. I didn't realize that this was in bad a shape as it was till I got in there. So I ended up cutting this off just because all these spot welds, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 right there in an inch-and-a-half space. I would have been there forever laying on my back trying to drill those out. And for what reason? It's nothing but rust up here. This panel needed to be replaced too. They sell these for about $90 plus whatever shipping. And then you got to go up in the trunk and cut that out if you replace the whole piece, or you just use the bottom half. And this is something that's really not going to show. This is not a concourse restoration, but it will be a good solid restoration. It will look good. I'm going to transfer this piece over and weld it in. That way it's got the body plug. And the beads aren't perfect, but they'll keep the quarter panel from vibrating. That's what they're there for, is to give it strength. So we've got those back in place, and I don't have to make this box here at the end. It'll be a separate piece and have to weld it in. It just got too many complex bends on it, so to make it all in one. So I'm trying to work this out to where it'd be 2 or 3 pieces here, but we're going to get it done. I just want to let you know that's all I can get done today. I don't have a bead roller handy. I've got one in storage, but being in my condition right now, I can't have all my tools here. So we're going to do the best what we got, and we got a vise and we got an extension, and that's what we used today. So anyway, I hope that helps and shows you that you can do this stuff if you got the patience and got the time to do it. It's really not that hard. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All right, until next week.